to Elias, and in this video, we're going to be installing a Windows Vista virtual machine. Hope you enjoy. Now, if you watch my videos, you may have watched my How Do You Set Up a Windows 8.1 virtual machine. I thought, why not I build on top of that and I make more of them so that they get an idea of what each one would look like. So today we're going to be installing a Windows Vista virtual machine. And in the next video, I'll continue with the Windows 10. So I actually already have one open here, but I want to create a new one. So let's call it, so I'm just going to call it Vista, because I already have a Windows Vista virtual machine right here. So there you go. Just press next. Let's give it a little bit more memory because I want it to have some hardware capabilities. Create a virtual hard disk. Set it as a VDI. This is almost all identical for this setup. Make it dynamically allocated because it's just the same operating system. Create the same brand as operating system. So the next thing we need to do is actually we need a whole operating system to go on top of this. Right now it's nothing. So we go to settings, and then we go to storage, and we can go to empty. This is the empty storage, or where our hard disk goes. Choose a disk file, and we got Windows Vista ISO. That's this one, and you choose it, and then you press OK. And then there you go. That's pretty much it for that. And then if you go to settings, I want to change one more thing before we start. Since this is Vista and it had a bunch of hardware accelerated extra things that you could do with it, I want to go and see if I can up this display memory, because I want to have that arrow effect. Hopefully it does even work. I'm going to set it to 128 megabytes. The monitor count, since I do have two monitors, I'm going to set it to 2. Okay, and I never actually started up with two monitors, so I'm going to see how this works. Let's start up our machine. So let's see how this goes with trying it like this. It takes a little bit of a while to start up. We don't want to set it to that because that was actually the old file. I had to rename it. Start it up, and okay. Now it's loading files. All right, so didn't even have to press a key. Usually you do. All right, it's starting up our virtual machine. So I'm going to actually move it full screen, and this is the half full screen. All right, there you go. We got our setup. And for Windows Vista, you don't actually need a product key to start up, so that's good. All right, so we're going to select English, US, and then install now. And then we're just going to complete the setup with a few more things. You're going to accept the license terms, press next, select custom, and you wait, and then allocate it on this disk 0 unallocated space. Press the next button, and wait for it to load. Okay, so it's copying the files, and it'll load everything up. And now, as always, after it's done with all this, don't press any key, because it will ask you to press any key to start up. And don't do that, because then you got to reinstall it again. So once you restart, don't press any key and just let it continue on with what it's doing. So I'm going to stop it, and let's see how this will go. And once it's done, I'm going to restart the recording. Okay, so after everything's done and it completes installation, you just let it wait. It'll take you to this blank screen, this black screen. And then you just got to wait a moment, and it'll take you to the area where you sign in and all this stuff and create your user account. And I'm just going to wait a second, and there you go. So I'm just going to say Elias. Doesn't really matter what you put for a password. This is just a virtual machine. And then you can just set your password hint to anything. It could be just a random letter. It doesn't even have to be anything special. I'm just going to set my account image to this, I guess. And next, you can select it as any image you want. I'm just going to select the Windows Vista default. Select next. Use recommended settings. Next. This is home. Thank you. And then start up your computer. And there it is. So it's going to wait for a second, and then you're going to see the Windows Vista logo, and your computer will start up. So let's move on. All right, so after everything's set up, put in your passcode. Here it is. So here's the computer. Looks almost identical to Windows 7. You could change the background, you could change the screen resolution, theme, do modified theme, Windows Vista, apply. Yeah, so that's it for that. And you can actually test your internet if it does work. XP is no longer works anymore, so you can't even surf the internet. You got these little gadgets here, old looking things. Add some gadgets, and you could just do a picture puzzle, or whatever, anything you want. These are all just really simple, little things that these are actually popular back in the time, like 2008. These are popular features of an operating system. But yeah, so you can just close a gadget. And there's a few features that they added to explore, although it was garbage. Just to show this message again, close. So obviously this looks really old, outdated now. So you're probably not going to use it. You just go to kids, video, like it'll show anything up basically. And obviously there was a problem with Windows Vista, and it was that everything was blocked because you always had to disable Windows Firewall. And you had to display, it'll always ask you like, oh, you want to display this, you want to display that. Like every time I have to say display it. I think you can actually change that settings if you go to Windows Firewall. So that's kind of cool. But anyway, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you next week.